This episode of CU Live is brought to you with support from Stoff's Coffee Roasters. Since 1988, Stoff's has been offering specialty coffee hand-roasted right here in Central Ohio. Stoff's is also a proponent of meaningful community conversations, whether online or in person. Visit their website at stoffs.com for the latest information on their locations, or to order online and enjoy a cup of Stoff's while you watch this episode.
Hello and welcome to CU Live. I'm Susan Post, Associate Editor of Columbus Underground. Today I have with me Tim Lai, who's the owner of Tim Lai Architect. Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about kind of an interesting topic today, sort of the future of living and working at home and how it's going to impact architecture and design. During the pandemic, people have really been asking their houses or apartments or spaces to do double, triple duty, do a lot of work. For some people, working at home is great. For others, not so much. Especially for folks that don't have a dedicated office or spare bedroom that they can use. What are some design tips for creating a space that people can work from home and be productive?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I think a lot of people has been thinking about that and been working from home. I always think that working from home is like, think about what you need. Like when you're working in an office. I think for me, the most important thing is really the seat, like the chairs. Make sure that you have the right seating or the chair that you feel comfortable, because you're gonna be there a long time. And for people that is a little bit older, the back is always tricky, right? So when you sit on a hard surface for a long time, sometimes it can hurt your back. So I think that part is important. But I think the other thing is really also, I think it's really important for me at least, is that the importance of natural light. And so, sometimes, folks would have maybe an office or space in the basement, but it doesn't have a lot of light. And it does affect, your productivity, I think, and your overall kind of well-being if you don't have natural light for a long time. So I think that's definitely important, is that ideally you want to be able to be close to a window or something that not only you can have the light coming in, but also you can look out when you can. I mean, just really basic stuff, I would say, like make sure that your computer and everything is in a right right position, so if you can have a stand or something for your laptop, if you work on a laptop, it would be helpful to have those things, so you're not like,
you're comfortable.
So your back's not hurting, again. Just those really basic things, I think.
Right.
But we can talk about more about more design side of this. Like, for example, I think the other elements that I think people should consider is, if a lot of people are intimidated by it, but like my wife Eliza is really good at it, is like indoor plants. Right?
Yeah.
So plant is really important, because, especially in the winter, everything is kind of gray, and I mean now it's white, which is better than gray, I think.
So bright outside, it's crazy.
but it's really, it would be a huge upgrade to improvement if you manage to create kind of some indoor plant arrangement by the windows or things like that.
I'm up to 26 plants now.
Right, there you go. Yeah, exactly. But it makes you feel good about it, and you it kind of take breaks to make sure you take care of them too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Kind of even after the pandemic has started to kind of curb a little bit, more folks are likely going to be working from home.
Right.
So how do you think this is going to change how spaces are designed and built over the next few years?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, a lot of our clients are asking for, obviously, addition or home office idea. So because they're kind of a lot of people, when the pandemic start, they're just gonna take over their kids' playroom or share with them and create an office for themselves. So I think a lot of times they start to think about, okay, what does it look like if they do that? I think there's an interesting concept that a lot of people are starting to talk about. It is these kind of prefabricated pots that you can actually like order it kind of from China or other places, and they can actually ship it, and then it becomes like a little container.
Yeah, there's a startup
box.
In Columbus that was doing that.
Right.
It was delivering.
Right, it's like a tiny home kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then in Columbus, if the structure or is less than 200 square feet, you don't need to go through all the permits and things like that.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Sheds, right?
Yeah.
So what about when it comes to office space? What changes do you think we're going to see in how office spaces are designed?
One of the things that you see for some company at least is that they would have an option probably, have a kind of flexible option that some folks can choose to work from home if they want to, but they would come in every so often for meetings and things like that after the pandemic, obviously. And so, I think the future of the workplace is probably gonna be there will be some consideration about creating spaces that you feel kind of more intimate, more individualized.
Yeah.
Because people don't really have to come to the office, you don't have to, but then when they come in, they want to have a space that they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's not just purely just really, tight and jam-packed with stuff.
Yeah.
So and I still think that meeting in person is important, even though we're all used to be meeting online these days. But I think after we feel that is safe, I think people would obviously want to come back to meet in person.
Right. I've seen a lot about kind of the social and cultural aspects that you just kind of can't replicate working from home and video. So definitely think there will be a need for that space for people to still connect and kind of tie in some of this together. For people that don't have an ideal work environment at home, or maybe have that flexibility, co-working could kind of be an option to fill that gap.
Right.
And pre-pandemic, there are a lot of co-working space in Columbus. It was really opening, and has continued to grow. So, what do you think of the future of that shared office / co-working space is going to be?
Very interesting. So one of our biggest clients is in the co-working business, and they definitely see the trend where a lot of big company, they are actually thinking about restructuring how they actually deal with their offices or headquarters. So conventional or in the past, you have a giant office, right? And then you have hundreds of people that come in every day and do these things. And the cool thing about co-working space is that it allows them the option to actually spread out the workforce, and especially if their co-working space that is not just in downtown or urban area, but maybe in the suburb where they actually
Close
live.
to your home. Yeah.
So it's a lot more convenient for them to go to those places, but also feel like they're part of the office, and then at the same time we're able to use those shared like meeting rooms and other amenities that they offer. So I think there's definitely the future for that.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing some insights on the future of the workplace.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.